Welcome everybody to Life on Track, which it's a TV show and a podcast. It's all about helping you get into the driver's seat of your own life. I say it all the time, not my life, not our guest today, Terrie's life, not society's life, your own life. You'll be in the driver's seat and you'll have control over what goes on, the decisions that you make throughout the day. So this show is based on my book, the principles in this book, Work Love, which I absolutely love, and also the principles in this book, Think and Grow Rich, which has been a classic from Napoleon Hill since 1937. And my book went #1 bestseller last year, I believe, in June of 2021, I believe, because with everything going on with the pandemic and I can't even list everything that's going on in the world these days. It's all about bringing respect and love into the world, specifically the workplace, because I really believe it's so needed. And I believe so many people were craving books to read about that as well. So let's get into the show. I'm Erin, your host, and I have an event coming up, a Life on Track in-person event at Westbury Manor here on Long Island. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be networking. It's a luncheon. There's going to be speakers, 2 charities. And my guest here today is one of the charities that will be there as well, represented. And you can go to www.lifeontracksummit.com. That's lifeontracksummit.com. You can see everything there, and I look forward to seeing you at this amazing event here on Long Island. All right, everybody, I'm going to bring on Terrie, my friend Terrie, who I absolutely love. I love you. So I want to read your bio because I don't want to leave anything out. Listen to how extraordinary this woman is. Terrie Magro, RN, MA, worked as a nurse at St. Francis Hospital for many years before switching to a career in medical sales so that her schedule would be more flexible as she and her husband, Paul, started a family. Paul and Terrie had 2 boys, Michael and Marc. They were happy, healthy children until March 2004, when Marc, 11, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Not long afterwards, Michael, age 13, was diagnosed with leukemia. Marc would recover, but his brother Michael passed away shortly after his diagnosis on June 30th, 2004. Where most people would have fallen apart, Terrie gathered her strength and started a foundation to help children with cancer and their families. The Michael Magro Foundation was founded to help others overcome the challenges and hardships of childhood cancer while honoring Michael Magro's life and memory. It started with a simple act of generosity. During his hospitalization, Michael missed being able to play video games. The family decided to use the donations from his wake to buy 2 television sets on carts and Xbox consoles and games to be donated to the Cancer Center for Kids at NYU Winthrop University Hospital in Michael's name. Since the foundation started, Terrie has become a true leader in the community. Under her leadership, the Michael Magro Foundation has worked to educate patients, families, teachers, and communities about pediatric cancer care, support pediatric cancer patients and their families, and build awareness for the children with cancer and chronic illness. Foundation has raised more than $3 million, unbelievable, that has supported many programs at the Cancer Center for Kids at NYU Langone, Long Island Hospital, Stony Brook Pediatric Oncology Program, Cohen's Children's Medical Center, NYU Hassenfeld, and many others with a focus on pediatric patients. Terrie works full-time running the foundation alongside her executive and advisory board. Terrie recently retired from her position as a physician's liaison at NYU Langone, Long Island, in Mineola, New York. Now listen to these awards. I am so proud of my friends. Trailblazers Award from Town of Oyster Bay, 2007. Foundation were honorees at Cancer Center for Kids, Black and White Ball, 2011. Terrie is a member of Worldwide Who's Who since 2013. The International Women's Leadership Association since 2014, awarded Gilbert Tilley's Award from Association of Fundraising Professionals, Long Island in 2014, Molloy College Distinguished Alumni of the Year 2016, Long Island Power Women in Business 2016, Angel Awards for its Equity June 2016, Best of Long Island Philanthropy Winner 2018, Long Island's Top 50 Women 2018, the Premier Businesswoman of Long Island 2019, and nominated for the HIA Long Island Business Achievement Award for Not-for-Business Sector, September 2021. Welcome, Terrie Magro, to Life on Track. You are extraordinary.
You are great, Erin. Thank you so much. I really appreciate being on this show and walking this journey with you too, as you have grown so much and helped so many people with all of your books and your talks and traveling. I'm so proud of you as well. So power women. That's what we are, right? We manifest everything good, and as as you said in your intro, we have to help people. The journey that we're on, we don't really know what direction it's going to take half the time, but we're given this direction, and you decide what you want to do with it. So after the boys got sick and Michael passed away, Marc was 11 years old, is 2004. He was in fifth grade. He's a cancer survivor. He lost his brother. He's got, that's the survivor guilt. There's a lot of things going on. So we had those issues, which, really through the strength of the family and Marc and, just praying, we got through that whole episode. And he's, great successful person in his career. He's 29, living on his own, doing fantastic. So as we walk this journey, Erin, I never really saw it from the position of a patient or a family member. I was always the nurse. So I always took care of them. You got them better, you sent them home, and you hope that you never had to see them again, because if you did, that meant that they were being readmitted for something. So that was the end of the story. And after that, I really never knew what happened. But now I'm the one in that seat, and I'm saying, oh my God, you cannot work full time, have a child going through cancer treatment. Your bills are piling up. It spins out of control in a very, very short amount of time. So Paul and I decided that the focus of this foundation would be as positive as we could make it be, because this is a horrific situation, but we turned it around. The old adage, lemons into lemonade. But we sat with a lot of people and we said, how can we impact these families directly and really help them at the root of what's going on? And what came up over and over again was, can you help them with those day-to-day bills that come in that they really are struggling to pay? And so that is really the base and the foundation of our mission, which is to help these families through this time. If we can, make them smile for a moment, that's fantastic, because we took something off their plate, and maybe they could take a deep breath and sleep for an extra, 15 minutes at night, because God knows you're up all night long thinking of a million things. So we started with child life specialists and social workers. Those are our basic referral sources from pediatric oncology practices in those Long Island hospitals that you mentioned previously: NYU, Langone, Cohen, Stony Brook. And what we do is we ask them to vet a family for us, and then send us a bill or two that we can pay and do something directly for them. So they scan us the bills, we pay direct to the vendor, and we just continue to help them on a regular basis. We're an all volunteer board. So all the money that we raise goes right back into the foundation. We don't have any overhead because we work out of my house, so we're not running rent or paying mortgages. So it's nice because it's about 90 cents on a dollar that actually goes right back into the foundation. And the overhead, there's a certain amount of operational. It's a nonprofit, but actually you're running it like a for-profit anyway, because you need to have that money. You spend it down a lot faster, but you have insurance. There's board insurance, event insurance, things of that nature, that you have to take into consideration. But we do all of that on a regular basis, and that's actually great. The social workers have been fantastic. They've networked us now with social workers across the United States, and I think I may have shared with you a graphic of about 13 different places, maybe even more now. So our footprint has expanded across the United States. They're selected hospitals, as social workers call us. So I always recommend that social workers, keep us in mind. We're in Texas, we're in California, Florida, Philadelphia, New Jersey.
Wow.
It's all over. And this actually, as you mentioned, I left the NYU health system in July of 2020. And when I left, I told them that basically I wanted to focus 100% of my time on expanding the foundation and bringing it to the next level, which is really where I've been for the past couple of years, and that's by increasing the footprint. We started out being able to help people with maybe $500 towards a bill, $750. Now we're doing more like $2,500, $3,000, paying a couple of bills, doing it more than once because God knows these people. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. We're kind of putting a Band-Aid on this wound, but at least that Band-Aid is holding for them to get from one month to the next and hopefully get themselves back on their feet. We have been very fortunate. We're in our 18th year. We've been very fortunate to have families come back to us after they have gotten on their feet and their child is out of treatment and doing well and want to give back to us so that they can pay forward how we help them. So that's really a big testimonial in and of itself is that, we've heard from so many families. I was struggling so much and my own family didn't help because they couldn't understand why I have great health insurance. Why was I looking for assistance? But they missed the point. Health insurance is great and pays those bills. But now we're in high deductibles. A lot has changed since 2004. And you may have a deductible that's thousands of dollars. And so how is that getting paid before insurance comes and clicks in and starts to reimburse you? It's on a credit card. So, now you've got a credit card with X amount of, fees on that, plus everything else you're putting on it. You're constantly catching up. So, our whole goal is to try and get people ahead if we can. And oftentimes, the social workers will say, I don't want to abuse your graciousness. Maybe just pay part of the telephone bill. Well, that's $400 maybe, but the whole bill is $600, $800, $1,000. I'll pay the whole thing because it doesn't, to me, it's just, that's what you need to do. I remember those days and really how difficult it was.
Let me just interject for a second because I know you well and I know your heart. It's amazing. I said this to you before we came on. It's amazing what you get done in a day. And it's amazing how, like you just said in the beginning, like, and, we're powerful women and stuff like that. We're multipliers. What we take in, women, what we take in, we're receivers also. We take it in, we multiply it, and then we put it back out into the world, whether it's a baby, whether it's, and hopefully for the men listening, you want to put out there good stuff, respect and all that kind of stuff, so we can multiply it and put that back out into the world, into your world. Because if there's negative stuff coming in, then we multiply negative stuff and then we put that out into the world. It's not a good place to be. You took something that was so tragic as a mom. I can't even imagine what you went through. And you took it in, the experience. And from what I can see, you multiplied in a beautiful way in the memory of your beautiful son. And you put out into the world all of that. It could have been years of grief. It could have been years of being mad at God and taking things out in society, but you took it in and you put out love to all these other families. And I had pediatric cancer. I was 25. I wasn't as young as your boys, but I had lymphoblastic lymphoma, which in 1991 very few people lived of that diagnosis. But I just remember my mother sitting on the floor Indian style with like a circle of EOBs, explanation of benefits, around her. Because she had to stay on top of what bills were paid, what bills weren't paid, and to make sure that, it's just unbelievable what you do, you and your husband, and your family, what you do. And I just admire you so much, Terrie. You have an amazing heart. So I also want to speak about corporate donations making a huge difference in what you do. I've been to your events. Your events are gorgeous. They're exciting. They're fun. They're powerful. They're moving. It's like, and you have all different types of events. Can you speak to how the corporate donations make a huge difference in something so meaningful? and talk about your events also. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, well, to start on the event side, Paul and I just enjoy the world of hospitality. Paul is a chef. So I want things to be fun. I don't want them to be dragged out and to be, boring. So we always get involved in things that are really a lot of fun. I love to engage the young people. I love to have a lot of different types of events. So we've had sporting events, soccer, basketball, lacrosse. We have car washes, car shows, golf outings, galas that are not sit down things, but they're tasting events, fun things like that. And we've done that over, the course of 15 years. And then we took that hiatus with COVID, but now we're getting back on track with that. But as I said, when I retired, I said I wanted to take it to the next level, and that was expanding and starting to get my footprint out there and into the United States. But now, as you mentioned, we're looking at more corporate giving and working with corporate giving offices in different corporations that want themselves to be known in the community. And those are the people that we enjoy working with because they believe in the mission. I tell people from the beginning when I sit down with these corporate giving officers and the CEOs of these different companies, understand where your money is going. Have a clear-cut understanding of how it's being spent, how much of it is going to the cause, and does that match what your values are? And what type of visibility can we give you? Because it's a two-way street. I work very closely with our donors, and we've engaged them over time that they're recurrent. So if they're recurrent, then that means we're working with them, and we've become friends more than just corporate partners. But the world is great. There's a lot of craziness going on, but everybody focuses on the negative. Paul and I truly focus on manifest ourselves on the positive. And there's so many great donors and people out there, whether they're individuals or corporations. But the corporations can give, the bigger dollars and be sponsors for events. Once you have sponsors for an event, that takes the burden of the finances of the event that you're hosting off of my plate, and I can give more back to the foundation, which means I can buy more gift cards. We give out gas cards, food, transportation. Parking in Manhattan can cost you, $100 a day.
Yeah.
If you're back and forth there every single day with a child that's in the hospital, and you're not working, that's a big chunk of a budget that's going, to a parking garage. And you think to yourself, oh my God. So the corporate assistance is vital. And then we want to make sure that they are in the spotlight, so to speak, as much as we are. So people understand. And I believe truly that communities support the corporations and people that are involved. It's not just a one-sided, I'm going to get a tax break and that's why I'm giving. Most of these companies really have, depth to what they're doing, and they have that social responsibility. The money is available and they want to be able to share it. So whether you pick a large national organization or a smaller organization, look at GuideStar, read the 990s that are on there. We're very transparent. Gina and RGD Marketing, that does all of our social media and marketing, she puts out a newsletter every month that recaps what we did that month, recaps how much we brought in an event, which I think is very important because people want to know. They donated. So how much did you raise and what are you doing with it? Where is it going? At the end of the year, we give a whole graphic of where that money was donated to. So last year, it was over $290,000.
It's amazing. And I just want to speak into one of these, just as a testimonial.
Yeah.
Being at one of your events, multiple events, and you have auctions.
Yes.
And I remember when I first started going to your events, I remember the first event I went to was at the Oyster Bay Mansion. Yeah. And I was just newly single, and I was like, I can't walk in by myself. And you're like, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be good. I'm like, I never walked in anywhere by myself. Sex to the nines, because it was a New Year's ball event.
Yes, in January.
I would say to you, I don't have a gown to go to this. You don't have to wear a gown, go to the New Year's ball. But anyway, I ended up going and having the best time. and I met one of your best friends who lived around the corner from me growing up, or whatever. Like your husband lived around the corner from me growing up in Garden City, and
amazing. Yeah.
somebody's brother or your best friend lived on the other around the corner, and I just ended up having the best time at this event. And at other events, you have auctions where it's like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. You know, people are like, and yeah, and everybody is so into it and loves it so much that it's a win-win-win. It's a win for you, it's a win for the person who's there, and it's a win for the corporation that sponsors the event. Not only are they seeing that you're making money and you know, like they're able to defend the contribution, but it says something about the character of the company. You know what I mean? That they're willing to give to a cause that's so, it's just so, pediatric cancer. I mean, it's like the cancer alone is just a horrible disease, but kids,
It's
you
like
know, it's amazing. So it like I said, it shows a lot of the character for the leaders in these corporations that do step up, you know, to try to help eliminate and alleviate a lot of the pain and suffering that the families are having financially.
Right. It's so true. Yeah. Yeah. And they see the end result. Like, you know, a $50 donation is just as good as anything else. That buys a gift card to put groceries on the table. $50 used to fill up your gas tank, but now you need a little more. But, you know, a $50 gas card, you know, little things like that really add up. And I tell people every day, and I think Paul says it on a regular basis, you know, whatever was donated, if it's $10, it's $10 more than I woke up with this morning to be able to put towards the cause. So there's never too little. People say, oh, I don't have that kind of money, I can't donate. Everybody has some way that they can do something. We have corporations that want to do backpack programs. VIP Auto Group in Levittown, one of their locations, they came to us and said, we want to do some team building and we want to do something tangible where we can get our group together. So we talked about the backpack program, which occurs every August. That's what I'm in the middle of now, July, actually into August, and now I deliver them. We do these distraction bags for NYU for their day up surgery, for the emergency room. And they took this idea and they brought it to their team. They had a whole night that they spent packing 400 backpacks. I'm picking up 150 of them from one of the people's houses tomorrow and delivering it. We're actually working with Amazon. They're sending a truck to their place to pick them up and delivering them to Stony Brook's Pediatric Oncology on Friday. And then they did 600 because they asked me how many of those distraction bags I usually make a month. I said about 50. So they did 600 of them to cover me for the better part of the year. So things like that, you know, it's just, they all got together. They, you know, had a great night, learned a little bit more about us, felt really good. It's just empowering to be able to do these great things. You don't have to write a $50,000 check to be empowering. Everything that you do on a daily basis can empower and make you feel better. The charity feels better. The person who's a recipient feels better. Like you said before, it's a win-win-win. You know, you can't, you just really have to reach out a little bit. And I love working with the younger people because they're so engaged. Marc was 11, Michael was 13. So now their friends are 29 and, 31, 32 years old. They are still involved, very involved with the charity because now they're married. They're working jobs that they're in a more solid position. So I'm getting donations and getting feedback and getting assistance from his friends. So, if you bring the community and you bring people together, it'll work. It'll work. My mother-in-law used to say I was like Velcro. If you met me, you stuck with me.
Right. And I understand that as your friend. Absolutely. And
I say that about the kids too. If you give them the opportunity, and they're not kids anymore, they're young adults, of course, but you give them the opportunity to shine and to do something, they're right there, right there. I mean, my my golf chair for the golf event is one of Marc's friends. It's Ryan Dempsey from the East End group, the most generous young man I have ever met, 29 years old. He champions my entire golf event for the past, 3-4 years, and we're working on year 5, 29 years old. So it doesn't matter. He's just, he's a great person. He's got some great people that he works with, and he's brought them all together. He's a networker, and that's.
But look at the gift that Michael gave his friends. These are huge lifelong gifts, of compassion and empathy and generosity. These are so much more important than anything.
Right. More important sometimes than that big check. Though I like the check.
Yeah. I mean, and I also believe that everybody, and I say this all the time, everybody's striving for inner peace, right? Like the big check is great and financial freedom is great. Phenomenal relationships, healthy relationships are great, great spiritual are great. But at the end of the day, I really believe all of it, people want that, whatever it is, whether it's financial, relationship, whatever it is, health, because they want the inner peace. Absolutely. It's not about the Lamborghini. It's right. What is that giving you? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing with what you're receiving?
Exactly.
And Michael has given the world a gift. Number one, the world a gift, but especially for his close friends.
Yes.
These kids that are now adults, that are going to want to have families of their own. I mean, continuing to make a difference in everybody's life. So he's still alive in that sense,
exactly.
through the foundation and everybody connected to it and his friends, including myself, forever.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, that was really the whole goal. I saw it in a microcosm when I started, and now I've seen, the fruits of the labor and how it's transformed. And some of these people, my Tom Galati, his entire family, including his daughter and his twin boys, are very involved with us. So, how they're in elementary school, middle school, that's great. That's what it's all about. And they're hands-on. They're with me at the car show. They run the whole arts and crafts. They do their own little fundraisers. And that's really what it's all about. It's, you see the fruits of the labor. It's just fantastic. It's all about paying it forward. It really, really, really is. And, we have a lot to be grateful for. We had a tremendous loss. We had a catastrophic year in 2004, but we also are all here together, Michael in spirit, but we're all here together and we're all here to help each other. And look, Erin, how we have grown as friends and how our network has grown. And that's, it's all great. And again, we get rid of any negative energy. We get rid of anything that's going to pull us down. Say a Hail Mary and manifest the good.
Thank you. See ya. Yes. And manifesting the good is all about what we focus on.
Right.
What we focus on expands, and manifesting the good with everything going on in the world these days, you got to stay focused on what's right with the world, what's right with your life, as opposed to what's wrong with it. Because whatever we focus on, like I said, expands. I always say what we speak about, we bring about. And what we think about, we bring about. Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits. It becomes a lifestyle. And there's so many people that are just watching the news and listening to like all of this garbage, which is so toxic. It's like, would you open up, your front door and let the sanitation worker just dump all the stuff in your living room? Like, no. So why open up your mind, your brain, and let everybody's toxic stuff in? Like, it's not like with the news and everything. It's not
natural. Yeah.
Not. And unfortunately, it's the norm.
Yeah.
More so than what you and I do. More so than what the listeners of Life on Track do, because we stay focused on what's right with our life. We stay in our lane,
Stay in our lane.
The creative lane, constantly expanding our world, wanting everybody around us to show up as the best version of them in their lane, constantly expanding their world, happy for everybody, as opposed to the dog eat dog and the fear, lack, and scarcity and, like the gossiping and it's just, there's no time for that. We all have in 24 hours. Look what you're doing in 24 hours. And you talk about manifesting. You're a manifesting queen. You constantly, because you're focused on the right things.
Yeah.
It's just smart.
Yeah. that's the inner peace. We all have free will, and you decide what you want to do with it. You take a situation and it can go in 3 different directions. You pick what direction it's going to go in, and run with it. And so hopefully you're picking the right direction. Things happen. We can't blame everybody else for what happens. We don't have any control over it.
And it'll keep us stuck. It'll keep somebody stuck if you're constantly blaming somebody else.
Right.
Forgive, say a prayer, and move on with your life. You have to, otherwise you're stuck in time.
Right.
I met you when I was literally in the valley. I was showed up to my low was showing up to ShopRite when the child support wasn't coming appropriately. And I was shocked and confused and everything else. And I had $5 in my pocket and said, please, dear God, let this be enough for the milk and bread. I had my daughter with me. She was only like 13 at the time. She's 19 now. And I walked out of ShopRite, not the same person. I was like, I'm putting my nose down and I'm going to grow my business.
There you go.
I'm never having that feeling again. But I could have stayed stuck on, I can't believe what's going on. And I could have stayed focused on resentment and given that a whole bunch of my time. But I knew I had to shift into gratitude. And like you said before, if I found a quarter on the steps going up to the bedrooms, I'd be like, thank you, God. I'm 25 times richer than I was 5 seconds ago. But by doing that, I've never been happier, healthier, and wealthier in my life than I am today. And it was just over the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was. Since I met you, probably since 2018, I met you. And it's just been like night and day. Yeah. But so you and I we know what works, and we want everybody around us to know the same thing. And that's why you do what you do. That's why I do what I do. And we're just here, like you said, to make the world a better place.
That's it. We can just make people smile and take a burden off of them, and just let them take one step in front of the other and continue on, and just hope that they can pay it forward as they're going through their journey. Yeah. It's really what it's all about.
Yes. And I'm going to see you at my event at in Westbury, the Westbury Manor. And I'm going to do a book signing, and half the 50% of the book proceeds are going to go to the Michael Magro Foundation for you. And then the other 50% is going to go to Mitzi Purdue's. She has the fight against human trafficking. So 100% of the proceeds are going to go to, both of you, split 50-50. But it's because I love what both of you are doing, and I love where your heart is. And like I said, you're so inspiring. So I want them to find out how to get in touch with you.
There we are.
www.michaelmagrofoundation.com. So tell them they can go there and see.
Right. So the website is very friendly and very easy to use. So we have all of our story, different things that we do, and it's we tell you how we do them, so you have an understanding on the front page. So it's 4 different topics that we talk about, our events, our anything that we do, our donate buttons all over the place. So it's anything that we do is really visible right there. So I welcome you to always look at that. Like us on Facebook, join us, through Facebook and Instagram. And if you want, you can put up my email address. You can email me. I can add you to our constant contact blasts as well. So whatever works. And I'm very open to having a conversation with anybody to talk in more depth about either what I'm doing or what you're trying to do. And then we can carry on different conversations at different levels.
I love it. And it's so funny when you just say constant contact. We are the sum title of the 5 we surround ourselves with. The people that we're surrounded by, let's just be careful and be wise about who you're surrounding yourself with. And you say constant contact. I'm friends now with one of the original founders.
Oh.
His name is Alex Stern. Him and 2 of his friends, they were in the attic and they came up with constant contact, and they were so ahead of the curve. And then they sold it for a few $1 billion and split it 3 ways. So, but he was the original founder.
Isn't that fabulous? Wow.
Manifesting. Again, stay focused on all the positive things. Surround yourself with amazing people like Terrie Magro. Show up to her events. You never know who you're going to meet. And you you attract the most amazing people to your events. Celebrities and sports athletes, like the
Yeah. And just great people like that are working hard and trying to get from, Monday through Friday.
Yes, and you're making it that much easier.
Yeah.
That much easier. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Terrie. Thank you for being.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a great conversation. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Terrie Magro with Michael Magro Foundation. Don't walk, run to her website and check it out. Let me put it back up here again. She's absolutely amazing. The foundation is extraordinary. And for everybody living on Long Island and anywhere else, like really check her out and show up. Show up to change lives and make a difference in this world. That's the kind of impact that we want to have. Mm-hmm. And it's a feel-good kind of a thing. So again, it's a win-win-win. All right, everybody. And also the tickets for my event are now available. If you go to lifeontracksummit.com, lifeontracksummit.com, you can go there as well, purchase tickets. Sponsorship is available also. And I'm so excited for all of us, these days. So have a magnificent day, everybody. You'll be able to see the interview all over the online streaming like Apple TV and Amazon Fire and Roku and all the big, online streaming TV things. And the podcasts and my social media and my new YouTube channel. So hit subscribe on the new YouTube channel as well. So nice. So exciting. So exciting. All right, everybody. Have a magnificent day. And always remember, live onward and upward. Love ya.